Well, hello there, friend. This is Lindbergh, Health and Fitness Motivation Podcast. Good to see you today. How you doing? How you doing on this Friday? All right, today we are going to talk about pre-osteoporosis and osteoporosis. And there's a couple of folks who have been asking me about this, and I've brought it up to a couple of people. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, this podcast is focused solely at me, no, but you can pretend it is. Just know you are in good company. Okay, so here's the thing with osteoporosis. And if you don't have it, you still want to be aware of it. And it's super important because you have people in your life with osteoporosis. It's just super, super, super common as we age. And we're seeing people who are surprisingly young with it too. So osteoporosis is obviously it's the bone density, losing bone density. And when you lose bone density, the typical thing we think about is, grandma falling and breaking her hip, right? And we think about that. We're like, oh, grandma fell, broke her hip. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up, right? Okay. It's a little bit more than that. And I know we'll never cover it all in 5 minutes, but we're going to give it our gosh darn try. Here we go. Couple of things. When the bones get not as dense, that part of the reason the hip is such a problem area is because there is so much load on it. And that ball of the hip joint, if you fall, can be brittle and break because it has the load on it. So that's why, and because breaking your hip is such a big deal if you're normally mobile, that's why we hear about it a lot. But what's lesser known with osteoporosis, and this fits into the thing I was talking about earlier about tech neck, is our spine. And with osteoporosis, you are a lot more prone to get what's called little microfractures or little compact fractures in your spine. And that just becomes a really difficult thing to deal with for the rest of your life. And so if you have recently been diagnosed with pre-osteoporosis, it becomes super, super important to get all over everything you can to get that bone density better. And at the same time, strengthen and balance out all the muscles in your body that support the spine. So that's why that Pilates class we do is so, so important. That's why the mobility classes we do are so, so important. And the strengthening classes are so, so important. That's why we do all those, is because when we look at longevity and feeling healthy and able to actually use our body and hold our body, that is an important piece. And by getting our Pilates muscles in line, it actually supports that spine more, which makes it so you can be more mobile in a way that's safer for your body and feels easier and feels less like you may damage it. Now, if you get to a point where you have significant osteoporosis in your spine, and hopefully if you do, you're under the guidance of a doctor and they're doing bone density scans, and so you're well aware of this and it's not a surprise. If you get to that place where it's fragile, then all of a sudden a really terrible thing happens. You have to start, people with severe osteoporosis have to start being super careful about not bending forward or not twisting their spine or not doing any big hip stretches. And the problem with that is when it comes to feeling young and vibrant, like we can move around in the world, a healthy and flexible spine, a strong and flexible spine is critical. It is key. It is it's more important than biceps. It's more important than calves. It's more important than a strong, flexible spine is more important than everything that people do in the gym to look beautiful in a bikini body. Actually, that's not totally true. What we do actually gives you really nice abs. So when you lose the ability to do what you need to keep that spine flexible and strong, it just becomes this downward spiral, and it's just really a hard place to be. So what do we do with this? If you've been diagnosed with pre-osteoporosis, do everything in your power to keep that bone density up. Everything. Do your research, be your own good advocate, go to the doctors, figure it out, do everything you can. Weight-bearing exercises, food, nutrition, medicine, whatever it takes. Be all over it. If you are too young to even be thinking about that, then you need to be doing your weight-bearing exercises now and keeping your spine strong and flexible. I got to tell you, I mean, when I first started doing Pilates, 6 months into it, I went to my doctor and she, did the weight and then measured me. And she was like, "You grew 1/3 of an inch." Like, no joke. The Pilates exercises that we do, that core spine stabilization, had stabilized my spine in such a way that I had actually like straightened up and didn't even realize I was actually standing 1/3 of an inch taller. Like, how freaking cool is that? And I had back pain, lower back pain that went away. That was almost debilitating. And just by these exercises. So really get all over it. If you do have, more advanced osteoporosis, then you want to really become educated and learn anything and everything you can to stabilize that spine and strengthen your core. And you can, and it does exist, but it's very carefully and in a very specific way. You can get that strength back, but not just with any old gym and any old trainer. Can't go to any old. So yes, osteoporosis, unfortunately, it's a thing we are humans and we have to deal with. And if that's you, much compassion. And if you want help figuring out how to do exercises safely, reach out. I would love to help you. That's Lindbergh signing out. You can learn more about me over at couch2active.com. Bye-bye now.